Welcome to the Calallen Softball Coaches Show. I'm your host, Chris Daly, and each week I will be talking with head coach Teresa Lentz from the Calallen Wildcats softball team. We will jump in right after these messages.
Coaches, boosters, parents, every sport deserves a spotlight. From football and volleyball to basketball, soccer, baseball, softball, track, wrestling, and more. Give your athletes a weekly coaches show that builds pride and raises funds. Lone Star Podcast Network makes it turnkey. You talk for a few minutes. We handle production and distribution. Sponsors love it. Families share it. And your program benefits. Get the free information kit at LoneStarPodcast.com/coaches. That's LoneStarPodcast.com/coaches. Your team, your sport, your show.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Calallen Softball Coaches Show with Coach Teresa Lentz. How are you doing, Coach?
I'm doing good.
Cool. Well, I tell you, district is now underway, and a good start, really good start.
Everything's going great, and we've kicked off district, so we're 2-0, and the girls are excited, and I think they're anxious and to see how it's going to play out, and not that we don't have confidence ourselves, but just like wanting to play each opponent and be ready to show what we got. So
yeah.
Good fun.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to keep these stats up with averaging 16 and a half runs and giving up only a half a run.
Right. No, it's there. Like I said, we've put ourselves through the gauntlet, and now it's time to get a routine, have not be scrambling for time and trying to get ready for tournaments or this and that, and just kind of settle back in and grind and do what we need to do to get better on what we need to get better on, and hopefully see how some of those things have worked out for us a little bit.
Yeah. With this 2-0 start, again, you can't tell a whole lot by a 2-0 start because that could happen to anybody, right? But it's got to make you feel good about what you said. The grind that you put the kids through, that they've responded.
Yeah, it's so far so good. And yesterday we had weights and hitting and whatnot, and just in the weight room, it was a tough workout. And I would definitely say most teams would have been complaining and saying things and just having bad body language. Mm-hmm. And the girls, not to say they're so excited to have a hard workout, they're not. But they're not complaining. They're taking it. They push. They're giving it their best. And it was tough. I mean, it was tough. Coach Vecino puts a heck of a workout together for them each week, and it's saying a lot. And I hope we could just continue to use that and grow, and get to where we need to be in the end. And they know we've got to be our best and we got to be our strongest. And so it was just really refreshing to see yesterday, in particular, to see the girls push themselves that hard. And, your mind is telling you, or your body's telling you no, and your mind's telling you no, and for you to just kind of push through that, it's kind of that mental toughness we're trying to build for them. And they, and they have it already, but, it's something that every season you've got to continue to focus on and be tough, and they're being tough right now, so it's great.
I love that. And you mentioned that every season you've got to build it because you do have new players on the team. Talk about the importance of the girls who have been there before setting that example and leading.
It's vital for the future, and it's vital for every year, every season that we've had, for those seniors to kind of set the tone and the expectation. And some of our upperclassmen and seniors, they do it by their actions. Some of them do it, vocally. Some of them do it both, but however they do it, and probably the common denominator in all of it is that the standard is, when it comes to it's time to take care of business, it's time to take care of business. No excuses. And the expectation is get it done. And that mindset of, well, if you can't get it done, then you need to get better at it. And it's known, you're not where you need to be. We need you to be there. If not, then you don't need to be playing. And that's it's on them. And they put that on the girls, and you can't ignore it. And, it should be that way. It should be that way. They should be, if our team's not where it needs to be and we know that this person can be there, then they need to be better. How? That's for them to figure out, I guess. But, so they take everything seriously. When it comes to that stuff, like, it's not something that they just goof around. Every game matters no matter what. And I love that. Every at bat matters. Everything matters to these girls. And so if they're doing that in the games that are not the biggest games, if you're playing like it's every at bat matters, every game matters, then every game is equally as important. And then when we get to, hopefully in the end, to the state championship, because we've taken every game so seriously, the state championship is going to be just like another game, because we've played that way with ourselves. And just trying to get them to do that and take that into practice as well is also tough, because we have all this time in the grind, and there's still, what month we're in? March. I know it's going to come quick, but for us to play May 29th, there's still a lot of days that go into that grind and getting us where we need to be. So I'm proud of them so far, because we've been through the tough part, and now it's now we have to get to work to what we need to do, and with our district, some teams are not as strong as others, but we're going to be facing some good teams here in a little bit, and so we'll make sure that we're hopefully where we need to be and ready to go.
Nice. If you could call out some of the girls that have stepped up. Obviously, there's a few that everybody knows they're going to be there, but maybe point out some of the ones that we haven't been paying attention to and we need to.
Oh man, that's Cody Forbes. Yeah. She kind of came to us from. She's a freshman, and she came to us from basketball. And so, we really didn't get to see her too much. And she was hurt in the fall a little bit. She had a wrist injury. And so didn't even get to see her hit too much or help her with her hitting. Before you know it, basketball started. So she's batting .400 for us. And, the way that Cody just kind of comes in and just, her mannerisms and her athleticism and her demeanor is just upperclassman type. It's like she's been here. I wish you could see her play. She's in the outfield, and she just looks like, I don't know, she just looks like she's been doing it forever. Yeah. And she's just very, very cool and calm, and no way looking at her, you would think that she's a freshman, but by the way she plays. But, and the exciting part, she's a good-sized kid, is, she's strong, but we kind of joke with her, is like she's not as strong as she could be, or she's not as strong as she will be for sure in the next couple of years. So she knows she's working on it. And like I said, she's not weak by any means, but she's going to get better. She's going to get stronger. And she's a very coachable kid, and she's very aware of what she needs to work on, and what her, that she's trying to get better, and she's doing amazing. But for her to have that constructive criticism on herself already, and she's like, yeah, no, I've been trying to work on that with my dad, and so on and so forth. Like, she's aware of her where she's at and where she can be. And I just think that's amazing. And, you know, she's really good at, I'm not saying she's never mad at herself, but she's really good at having that poker face and just keeping her thoughts and her emotions inside her head and not being too vocal or even, you know, extra with her mannerisms, and just kind of just, you know, handling everything that comes with her, and handling the pressure very well for a girl her age.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. Cody's pretty dang awesome. She's very fast, and you know, she's in our outfield, and she has great arm, and she's a lefty. She's a lefty thrower and a righty hitter, but she's special for sure. So she's definitely one that's really been you know, doing amazing. And then of course there's Hannah Thibodeau. That's Jordan's sister, and you know, Hannah, she's at shortstop for us. She's pitching. Sometimes she's hitting for us. She's just so dynamic with what she can bring. It's very hard to keep her out of the lineup, and it's tough right now. We have so many girls that are bringing so much. So, you know, and Hannah's so different than her sister, and they're completely opposite. But and the fun part is I get to work with Hannah a little bit more. I don't get to work with Jordan during some of the practices with defense. She's in the bullpen, but I get to work with Hannah and just getting to know her, and you know, it's just fun, and she picks things up very fast, and it's just been pretty awesome to see her as well handle pressure situations and just kind of bring that competitiveness out in her, and because she's a real goofy kind of kid, but when she plays, she turns into another person. So I like that about her. And then of course there's Addie Juarez, who's our pretty much like our next pitcher, probably behind Jordan. Not to say Hannah's not doing great, because she is, but you know, Addie's coming in, and you know, when her stuff's moving, it's kind of hard to hit, and that's what we want. And the same with Addie, we have her from shortstop to pitcher and whatever else we need. And again, just handling that pressure and expectation that's going on with what we've been through with our tournaments has been impressive to see from this young class. So, you know, we're excited for what we got and what's going to come from these young ladies. So just can't wait to see can't wait to see how they perform in district. Yeah. And everybody else gets to see how they're doing.
I love that. And, you know, you mentioned Cody was a 400 hitter. You've got a couple 400 hitters. You got a couple 500 hitters. What stats do you look for as a coach to say, yeah, we're doing really well, whether it's offensive or defensive stats? What are your go-to numbers?
Depends. I mean, depends on what I feel like we're struggling at. Quality at bats is, you know, I really, you know, think that having a quality at bat says a lot about a player if they're, you know, identifying pitches, seeing the ball, pushing through and working through an at bat. Most times, if a kid's struggling, they're not going to get those quality at bats because they're guessing, and so they kind of just swing at everything and kind of fall into the pitcher's plan and you know, take themselves out of a net bat. To me, quality at bats mean more than necessarily averages. Sometimes it says a lot, because you can have a kid that's, you know, they're hitting the ball fairly well, but they're hitting right at them, you know, and different things like that. So it's kind of tough to say. And another thing that is probably not even a stat that means more to me is do they have a consistent swing? Yeah. Is their swing consistent? Is their timing mechanism consistent? If they're not consistent, well, you know, if you don't have a consistent swing, you're not going to have consistent results. And so if it's a different swing every time they go up, that's hard to help. It's hard for them to help themselves. So, you know, those to me are things that I look at. I'm not really a stat person. I'm a process driven a little bit more, and trusting the process and understanding and recognizing. And then, you know, I recognize that girls have to work through stuff, and so it's kind of tough, and it depends on what they're bringing to the plate with their defense, and then just little things like that. And when it needs to come to stats, and I don't know who to put in, and then like if it's a tie, and then I have to kind of go to stats, and that's where my assistant coaches come into play, and they help with all that and figuring out who they feel is bringing what we need for each game, because it's getting tough. And we got some great girls.
Yeah.
Like you said, we have a couple hitting 500. I think Audrina's just doing amazing. BB's doing amazing, and we just got some girls that are just it's really nice to see. So especially with this younger group stepping up, it couldn't be more important right now, especially with this big class that's about to graduate. So
Yeah.
It's nice for our future.
Yeah, definitely. And you talk about BB, her and Kylie Butcher. This is like a killer bees race when it comes to home runs. I mean,
oh gosh, yes. I don't know. We're number 2 in the nation.
Yeah.
They have, and this probably not. I don't know now after Tuesday's game, but this was after Friday's game.
Right.
Melissa had 41, and we had 39. So I'm sure they hit some, yes, after their Tuesday game. But I'm just, like I said, we're right there. These girls are doing amazing. I couldn't be more proud of how hard everybody's working. And I would even say with this, I think, Melissa, there's 10 girls that have home runs, and for us, we have 11.
Nice.
And our strength of schedule is higher than theirs.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
was
gauntlet.
looking at the numbers going, wow, that's crazy. Is that real?
Yeah. No, we've never had a national stat like that. And the fact that it's home runs is, I'm not a stat person, but that's just pretty
Right.
cool.
It's really cool. And for the fans, I mean, nothing is more exciting than a home run, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just, I'm just really proud of our girls, because it's, we have, like I said, we put them through a gauntlet, and for them to be where they're at, like I said, strength of schedule is higher than Melissa, and we're right behind them in home runs. And we know what Melissa has, and nothing taken away from them, because they are an amazing team. But, just proud of our girls and what they're doing and how hard they're working.
Excellent. And health-wise, how are the girls?
Knock on wood. I would say so far so good. We have Audrina and Kaylee that are in track, and they're going back and forth and doing that, and that says a lot about them, and Hannah as well. It's hard to do that, and we have another girl in tennis, Ava, and then we have another girl, Andrea Flores, who's going to state for powerlifting, and she's a JV kid, but she comes up and helps us sometimes with varsity, and she has in the past. So we're just proud of how hard all our girls are working, and playing all these other sports, and hopefully doing that keeps them away from injury, playing all these different sports. So it's exciting, and so far so good. Knock on wood. Hopefully we continue to stay healthy.
Nice. And do we have Cody available yet?
Yeah, she's right here. She just walked in a little bit ago.
Sweet. Well, then if you could, I know we talked about her quite a bit already, but if you do a brief introduction about Cody Forbes, who is our Downtime Services Player Spotlight.
Yeah, no, Cody, like I said earlier, she's amazing. For her to come in and to be able to do what she does, and to see her out in the field, she knows this, because I think people say it a lot about her, but she played baseball for a long time, and she's out there, and she just kind of looks like a professional baseball player, the way she carries herself, just like just in the pros, like she just runs, makes things look easy.
Yeah.
And hard plays look easy. And it's really awesome to say. And I don't know if I've ever had so many other people ask me about a player than Cody her freshman year. Everywhere I go. So what do you think of that? What do you think of that Cody kid? What do you think of that Forbes kid? How's she doing? How's that kid? How's that Cody kid doing? Oh man, I remember when she was younger, And I just knew she was going to be something special. And I was like, yeah, no, she's doing great. She's killing it. So many people know of her in our community and are excited to see what she's able to do and what she's doing, and are just proud of her, because she's been a talent in our area growing up, and not just on the girls' side, like I said, on the boys' side. So these people that are asking me are people that used to see her play baseball.
Yeah. And
they have not too much affiliation with softball, and so they're just curious to see how it's panning out for her. And so far so great. I mean, she's doing amazing things for us, and it couldn't come at a better time. So it's exciting to have her here, finally have her here as a freshman, and her to get to show everybody what she's capable of.
Cool. Well, Cody, congratulations on being the Downtime Services Player Spotlight this week, and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You bet. So tell me, what does it feel like to hear your coach bragging on you like that?
It's a great feeling, Coming in, I was nervous, but Coach Wentz made me feel comfortable, and all the girls just make it even more fun and enjoyable.
Yeah, definitely. And I saw some pictures online from a few years ago where you're hanging with some of the Calallen softball girls, and I have to tell you, it was only a couple years ago, but you looked like you were 10 then.
Yes, people tell me that every day, saying I grew so much. And yes, looking back, I was tiny.
Yeah. And so talk about that relationship, knowing the girls before you became a part of the team.
It made it way easier to come to practice and not be so scared and nervous and not know what to do. So they just guide me every day just to be better. And having that relationship with them is, I think, the best thing ever.
I love that. And 407, wow, you were just knocking the cover off that ball.
Yes, sir.
So, and is that just because you've been, Coach mentioned baseball before? Is it just you've been a ball player forever?
Yes, I think baseball did prepare me for softball a little bit, but coming into softball, it was way different.
Yeah.
But through the years, I think I got more comfortable, and I got to know softball a little bit well, and I just got better through the years.
Right, and I understand you're also a basketball player. Where is your passion when it comes to sports? What is sport number one?
Definitely softball. I think basketball, I go there just to have more fun, and some of the softball girls are on that team. So like I said, it's just way more enjoyable, and I love basketball, but softball's always been my number one sport.
Nice. And I always ask, if you're on a deserted island and stranded there with anybody from your team, who would you want to be there?
I would say, I think Kylie, because I feel like she would just make it turn a bad thing into such a good and enjoyable thing, and I don't know, she just seems really funny.
Nice, I like that. And what's your go-to when it comes to socials, as far as Facebook, Instagram? Where do you hang?
Instagram, or my mom runs my Twitter account.
Nice.
That I would say Twitter though.
I just say that's kind of big league if you got somebody running your account. I love that. And finally, you could play catch with anybody, living or dead, throughout time. Who would it be?
I think I would say my grandpa.
Nice. I love that. I love that a lot. Talk to me about the Zapata game, because you did really well against them. And as I go back through the games, I'm seeing you're doing really well all year, but that was a good game.
Yes, going into that game, I was really confident going up to the plate, which I think helped me with my results. But throughout the game, they were, talking crap and stuff, and some of the girls were letting it get to them, but I didn't let it get to me, and I just kept playing the game, and I think that's what helped me.
Nice. And at the end of the game, you just say scoreboard, right?
Yes.
Exactly. Cool. Well, Cody, gosh, I want to thank you so much for sitting down with us and being the Downtime Services Player Spotlight. Have a great season.
Yes, of course. Thank you.
You bet. Well, I guess that's about it. We're going to go ahead and wrap up. Any parting thoughts you want to tell the fans? Tell them to come out to the game, or about Robstown.
We would play Robstown this upcoming Friday at 6:00, and it should be a great game. It's always a rivalry to play Robstown because there's such our schools are neighboring schools, so we know them very well. And I would say also on Saturday there's Colton Walk. It's a walk for suicide.
Oh yeah.
And it's this Saturday from 8:30 to 10:30, and we'd love for everybody to show up and show their support.
I love that. I love that. Well, again, Coach, thank you so much. I look forward to talking about your next win on our next show.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Chris.
Take care.
We also need to thank Downtime Services. Downtime Services offers specialized on-site field machining services that maximize your uptime without sacrificing quality. Their team of expert field machining services technicians will come to you and repair and modify your equipment on-site and on demand. Downtime Services, whatever you need, whenever you need. Find Downtime Services online at downtimeservices.com or call them at 800-900-1256. Hey, would you like to have your company associated with this historical Calallen softball team? Well, you can. It's very simple. Become a sponsor on the show, and each week, tens of thousands of Calallen softball listeners will hear about your company in every episode, all the way to what is hopefully a historic four-peat for state championships. Give a call to 713-269-4620, and we'll let you know how you can get your company associated with this amazing team. That's 713-269-4620. Hey, once again, I want to thank you for tuning in and listening to the Calallen Softball Coaches Show. Please share, subscribe, get the story out about this amazing program, these amazing girls, and don't forget to go out, fill the stands, and support your Calallen Wildcats.